What's good, YouTube? It's your boy D-Riff. Hey, today we got another special video. Today we're going to be reacting to wrestlers who were inches away from injury or death. First time come across, trying to make sure I get a thumbs up. Make sure y'all subscribe because we're almost at 5K. And we can't get that 5K without you, so continue to subscribe. We're trying to hit 10K before the end of the year. And that would mean a lot. So let's continue to go crazy. Let's continue to keep grinding. Like I said before, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. If I miss a day, I will give you an extra upload for the next time. Y'all gotta bear with me because I am busy a lot. I am in the military, if you didn't know. If you didn't know, now you do. I'm in the military, so a lot of times I don't have time to upload for y'all. So that's my excuse, okay? But other than that, I'm 100% uploading. I don't care. Other than that, if I ain't busy, if I ain't gotta do nothing, I'm here. Look, without further ado, let's get into this video.
Trying to actually hurt each other, wrestling is still incredibly dangerous.
Spike
the
Dudley.
wrestlers you're about to see in this video were inches away from injury or even death. Now, you wouldn't expect someone to drown when competing were inches away from injury or even death. Now, you wouldn't expect someone to drown when competing in a wrestling match, but that did almost happen. In 1997, Ken Shamrock was wrestling a match in Japan against Vader. Japanese wrestling is a bit different from what you might see in WWE. While Japanese wrestling is still predetermined, wrestlers hit each other a bit harder, and matches can be pretty brutal. Ken Shamrock and Vader did just that in their match, but things nearly turned deadly. Going into the fight, Shamrock had a bad rib and an affected lung. So, when Vader powerbombed Shamrock, Shamrock's lungs began to fill with blood. Vader was supposed to give Ken 3 powerbombs, but Shamrock called off the third, which is what saved his life. Had Vader hit the third powerbomb, then Ken Shamrock would have died internally due to the impact. Randy Orton and The Undertaker's feud in 2005 was filled with insane stunts. A lot of them were pretty risky, and the Legend Killer was inches away from killing himself a couple of times. One episode of SmackDown saw Randy Orton sit The Undertaker on the back of a car, to which Randy Orton then drove into the SmackDown set. However, the middle panel was the only one that was rigged to break away, and there was very little room for error. Had Randy been off by just a few inches, he could have seriously injured himself or The Undertaker.
But even if he did miss that middle panel, look, even if he did miss that middle panel, these things would have came down regardless. Them things, I doubt them things was that hard. Them things would have came down regardless. The way he was going fast like that, he would have definitely, them things would have came down.
Was the only one that was rigged to break away, and there was very little room for error. Had Randy been off by just a few inches, he could have seriously injured himself or The Undertaker.
Had a few angels with me that day, so did Taker.
However, this was not the most dangerous stunt Randy Orton and The Undertaker did during their feud. At No Mercy, Randy and his father fought Taker in a casket match. The Ortons won and then set the dead man on fire.
Oh, come on now, come on now! Oh my God!
But we already watched in the Secrets video that Undertaker went under the stage. So...
Damn Inferno, somebody get out here!
Surprisingly, Randy Orton was the one who was actually in danger of being set on fire. After the Ortons had closed the casket, The Undertaker escaped through a secret compartment and hid under the ring. However, as Randy was bathing the casket in kerosene, the flammable liquid was spilling on the Viper.
I didn't even realize it, but my boots up to my knees were soaked in kerosene.
Once Randy lit the casket, he backed away just in time that the flames didn't set him ablaze. Extreme Championship Wrestling
Why didn't
lived
use a
up
match?
to its name. Multiple wrestlers came inches away from death. Sometimes it was by accident. Other times it was very intentional. One such incident happened during a match between Super Crazy and C.W. Anderson. As was the norm in ECW, weapons were introduced into the match, including tables.
Thank you if you said bless you.
Crazy attempted to put Anderson through a table. While we know why Super Crazy survived that incident, it's literally a miracle this next wrestler wasn't paralyzed for life. During another ECW show, Tony Mamaluke was in a match against Mikey Whipwreck.
Oh my gosh!
Mamaluke was a fast-paced, high-flying wrestler, which is what led to him nearly losing his life. While Whipwreck was on the outside, Mamaluke went high risk. The back of Tony Mamaluke's head and neck slammed into the guardrails.
Oh my gosh, why he didn't catch him?
After the accident, and the match soon came to an end. However, Tony Mamaluke didn't suffer any life-altering injuries and continued to compete for several more years. This next wrestler was not even inches, but literally centimeters from losing his right arm. During his WCW career, Goldberg was involved in a feud with Bret Hart. Part of the storyline saw Goldberg chase Hart out of the arena. In his rage, Goldberg went and smashed the windows of a nearby limousine. To pull off the stunt, Goldberg had a small piece of pipe concealed in his black gloves. However, after breaking the first window, Goldberg dropped the pipe. Since he was on live TV, he couldn't pick up the pipe. So instead, Goldberg literally smashed the rest of the windows with his bare hand. However, this caused a shard of glass to slice an artery in Goldberg's arm.
The way he snatched his arm back, you can tell.
WCW superstar lost a lot of blood before getting into the emergency room, and it was so bad that Goldberg nearly had to have his arm amputated. The doctors were able to prevent that, but Goldberg was out of action for several months simply because he dropped a pipe. While this wrestler didn't lose his life, he did suffer damage that he still lives with today.
Wait, that was him? Hold on.
While this wrestler did
Look how big he was right here.
Didn't lose his life, he did suffer damage that he still lives with today. Early in his career, Perry Saturn was wrestling a match in ECW against Pitbull No. 2. Not surprisingly, the fight spilled out into the crowd. Perry then hit a moonsault off the middle rope and into the outside. However, Pitbull didn't catch Saturn correctly, causing Saturn's head to hit the floor. Perry Saturn's skull was busted open, but despite that, Saturn acted like nothing was wrong and finished the match. However, the accident did give Perry chronic traumatic encephalopathy, or CTE. What makes the story a little bit heartwarming is what Perry Saturn would do years later. In December 2000, Perry Saturn was wrestling a match on Monday Night Raw against Chris Jericho. Unlike the incident with Pitbull, Saturn's match with Jericho was a standard wrestling match. Plus, Perry and Y2J had wrestled each other several times before, so it seemed like it couldn't be a more safe environment. During their fight, Jericho went for a moonsault from the middle rope, just like what Perry had done years earlier. However, something was off, and Chris's head began to plummet straight towards the mat. Saturn's quick reaction allowed him to use his right leg and arm to protect his opponent from a serious injury. Had Perry not done that, what happened to him years earlier is what could have happened to Chris Jericho. As you saw with Randy Orton, WWE
He was too close. Like, Chris Jericho couldn't even jump backwards because he was so close. Like, he couldn't even jump. He was way too close.
Arm to protect his opponent from a serious injury. Had Perry not done that, what happened to him years earlier is what could have happened to Chris Jericho. As you saw with Randy Orton, WWE wrestlers have to be versatile. It's not uncommon for wrestlers to learn how to perform dangerous stunts in a short amount of time, like when Kane had to learn how to set himself on fire safely.
Kane's on fire! Kane is on fire!
While the Big Red Machine was okay, Stone Cold Steve Austin was literally inches away from death when performing a huge stunt. During Austin's feud with Triple H and DX, the Rattlesnake famously destroyed the group's bus. However, this one incident nearly killed Stone Cold. While trying to operate the machine, Austin was moving the crane so the beam would drop in the right place. However, as he was doing that, the beam began to swing and was inches away from smashing into the driver's seat. Had that happened, this stunt would have been remembered for a much different reason. Unfortunately, this wasn't the only stunt that nearly killed Stone Cold Steve Austin. During Stone
Hold on, bro. Sometimes I don't believe in tap out, cause he be just saying stuff sometimes. So you telling me
during Austin's feud with Triple H and DX, the Rattlesnake famously destroyed the group's
that was Stone Cold that actually dropped that? I highly doubt Stone Cold dropped that. Knowing how WWE works, they probably had somebody else in that truck and they cut to a different camera to make it look like Stone Cold did it. Knowing how they operate, that's more than likely what they did. I don't be believing some of the stuff Tap Out be saying for real, because some of the stuff he says just ain't true.
Bus. However, this
there's nobody. Oh, I went back.
One instant.
There's literally nobody in that seat, bro. Look,
bus.
Ain't nobody in that. That ain't Stone Cold. That's a black shirt. That ain't Stone Cold.
This one instant nearly killed Stone Cold. While trying to operate the machine, Austin was moving the crane so
that ain't him.
Beam would drop in the right place.
I can't see because I'm in a way, but that wasn't him.
However, as he was doing that, the beam began to swing and was inches away from smashing into the driver's seat. Had that happened, this stunt would have been remembered for a much different reason. Unfortunately, this wasn't the only stunt that nearly killed Stone Cold Steve Austin.
That's why they got so many cuts.
During Stone Cold's feud with The Rock, one incident saw Steve Austin run over The Rock's car with a monster truck, then drive up to the ring. While waiting for his cue to enter the arena though, Steve Austin was waiting inside the monster truck and began to breathe in the fumes from the giant vehicle. Stone Cold was waiting for so long, they started to have trouble breathing. Had it been any longer, Austin admits he would have died. Look at how fast Roddy Piper can make a beer bottle disappear.
Just checked it, does not seem.
All right, come here, Bob.
You might think that the bottle was made from sugar glass, like what they use in movies. However, that was a real glass bottle Piper hit himself with, as evident by the cut it gave him. This was without a doubt a very dangerous stunt, and it's more than likely that Piper felt the effects of it after the segment was over.
Yeah, why?
We've seen in other clips how dangerous it is for a wrestler to dive to the outside, but the person taking the move is also in a lot of danger, as you'll see here. Early in X-Pac's career, he was wrestling a match when his opponent hit a senton to the outside. X-Pac's opponent was okay, but X-Pac was not. The future D-Generation X member hit his head on the concrete floor, which knocked him out. The other wrestler had to literally pull X-Pac's body into the ring to pin him and end the match. Once he got to the hospital, doctors discovered the accident created a blood clot in X-Pac's brain. While X-Pac didn't die, he was told that he would never wrestle again. Never only lasted 4 months, and X-Pac was back in the ring and eventually found himself competing in WWE. This next wrestler...
Speaking of X-Pac, let me show you something. Come on, I can't get my stuff got tangled up. I met him, got his autograph, took some pictures with him. I don't know where it's at, but this is autograph. Met him like a couple weeks ago. Oh, there it is. It's me and X-Pac. Still blurry. Anyway, that's me and X-Pac. Dope experience. Got to talk to him. I asked him his Mount Rushmore. He said a lot of old people, but it's okay. It's okay. It's his opinion.
Was inches away from breaking his neck. In January 2024 on AEW Dynamite, Stan Darby Allin fought Konosuke Takeshita and Powerhouse Hobbs in a tag team match. Hobbs and Takeshita had taken control of the match and gained up on Darby. They then grabbed Allin by his arms and legs and chucked him across the ring. However, Darby Allin had too much momentum, causing his head to collide with the rope. Allin was okay, but the accident looked ugly. Unfortunately, not everyone is as lucky as Darby Allin. Some wrestlers have gotten seriously hurt and even died in the...
Man, I reacted to that video already. If y'all want to see any more videos in particular, let me know down below in the comments. And like I always say, man, like this video, subscribe if you're new. It's your boy D-Rib, man. I'm out.